Hi, this is Rob Leo, and in this brief tutorial, we're going to take a look at Team Drives, which is a feature within Google Drive that allows folks to share materials without the worry of someone removing shared files from a shared folder. Some of you may have experienced Shared With Me, where somebody shares an entire folder with a large group, and someone in that group decides, hey, that looks great. Let me pull this over into my drive. Once they do so, everyone else will lose access to the materials that have been shared. So it's always a little tricky when you're sharing stuff, especially with large groups of people. But Team Drives is a great solution for that. Once again, Team Drives a space to store files, edit files, work collaboratively without the worry of somebody removing files so that no one else in the group has access to them. In fact, even if someone leaves the organization, the files will stay put as the Team Drive becomes the owner of the files rather than any single individual. So let's get started by creating one. We're going to go to Team Drives and we're just going to click New. We'll call this the demo drive. You should see that appear on your list of drives. Now, previously, actually, here we go. We have no members yet. I was going to say previously I created one and it had a different banner, but I had deleted it, so Google had also deleted it, which is great. Let's add a member to this. We're just going to type in email addresses. And when you're adding members, you want to decide what kind of access you want to give people. I'll just take a look at the little drop down next to full, and that will explain what people can do. Full access means people can manage members. In other words, they can invite and remove people from the group. They can upload /edit /delete all files. So full access is really the most comprehensive. If you want someone to be able to remove files, then full access is the way to go. If you want someone to manage the members, full access is the way to go. I would encourage this only if you're working very closely with someone. If you're inviting your whole department, or if you're inviting a committee, or if you're inviting grade levels across a district, I would encourage just a few people to have full access. As an alternative, you could give folks edit access. When you do so, edit access means that they can edit all files, they can even upload new ones, but notice they can't remove files or delete them. They can't move them either. Comment access, similar to edit in that you can still look at stuff, you can still put comments in the margin, you can't delete, you can't move, you can't add new people, but you certainly could comment on the files that are there, you simply can't edit them. And then view access is the most restrictive, where you can only look at the files that are shared with the team. If you want to learn more, you can click the Learn More button. That will take you to Google Drive help page. As an alternative, there's a great place called the G Suite Learning Center. And if you wanted to do a search for that, I would encourage you to type in Getting Started with Team Drives. And when you do so, I think the first hit is the Get Started with Team Drives from the Google Learning Center. They have some great information about setting one up, adding files and folders, organizing stuff, and sharing and collaborating. Notice as you scroll down, we're at 1.3, section 1. Then you can keep scrolling and go on to section 2. So once again, plenty of great spaces to learn more. We're going to close these for now and return back to our Google Drive. I'm going to give my collaborator edit access. You could send a message. You could skip the notification if you'd like. Once you're all set, you can click send, and of course, you can keep adding new members with their email addresses. So let me get started by putting some files in here. If we go to My Drive first, let's say I have a folder that I want to place in there. Again, keep in mind that once you put it in the team drive, it belongs to the team. What we'll do is just drop down the team drives option, and we will take this folder and drag it in. Now, I don't even see the demo folder, so bear with me just 1 second. I'm going to refresh my page, and it should show up then. There we go. There's the demo drive. Now let me take that demo folder and drag it into the demo drive. Once again, I'm removing everyone else's, I'm moving it into the drive. In other words, it's no longer going to be owned by me. It's going to be owned by the drive itself. Looks like I was successful. If I go to open it up, there's my demo folder. And if I want to create something new, let's say I want to create a new document from scratch, so long as I'm working within that team drive, I can start to create a new document Again, it will belong to the team rather than any individual on the team. We'll just put a little text here. Let's see what my collaborator sees. Bear with me for just a moment. I'm going to pull up my collaborator screen, and we're going to start in my drive. Let's go to email first. We invited this person via Gmail. We can see that we've been added to a team drive. If we want, we can open the drive directly here. Of course, we can also always go to Google Drive, and if you notice under Team Drives, the content is there as well. So now that my collaborator has been invited, let's take a look next at actually editing some of those documents. Again, I believe I'm looking at this. Yep, I'm looking at this from the collaborator point of view, and I've been given editing rights. Once I'm all set, I can close that document. Notice, however, if I right-click on the file, a couple things have been disabled. Again, I've only been given editing rights. I cannot move this file. I cannot delete the file. I could certainly make a copy. If that's the case, I will become the owner of a document. It will live in my drive. The new version will not be shared with the group. It'll be my own. And if I choose to, I can share it with other people. Of course, I can download it. If I choose to do that, it'll save it as a Word document, pull it off the web. And again, I can add a star. So if I want to sort through stuff, it'll appear in my starred items. Notice too that I had under sharing rights, because I'm a co-editor, I could name someone to add as a collaborator on this, and I can assign them edit, comment, or view. I cannot allow them to have full rights over the document. So they can come and edit if they want to, but they can't remove it from the folder or delete it. Let's leave this view and return back to the team drive itself from the full ownership point of view. Once again, if I open the document, there's the changes that were made. So again, the collaborative space without the disadvantage of people removing stuff from the team drive. A couple last things to mention here. Because I am the owner of the drive, I could remove stuff. I have full rights. So if I choose to, and I want to put this back into my drive, let's say I want to put this back in the demo folder. Notice that demo folder is now gone from my list because the team owns it. But I could simply place it in my drive itself. I should get a warning message. Everyone on the team is going to lose access unless it's specifically shared with them. I'm okay with that. And again, we have an entire folder here. So if I want to move that folder and place it back in my drive, I could. Once again, I have full editing rights. Let's go back to the team drive space itself. And what I want to do, see how there's a theme at the top of the screen? One of the things you can do here, if I right click, I can change that theme and I could choose from a gallery. There's a pretty decent list of images you can add to the banner. Let's say I want to add, looks like couch cushions here. If I select that, you'll notice the theme is changed. If I want to add my own theme, I just have to make sure that my image is large enough. So if I want to create a custom theme, you could search your Google Drive, Team Drives, or Share with Me for any images that you might have stored on your drive. And if that's the case, notice some of these won't work. If I click on some of the others, I can't even select them because they're too small. But if I do have one that's large enough, I can select it. I'll be able to crop it. And this was transparent. Google is asking me to pick a color as the background. And once I save it, I've kind of created my own custom theme. Frankly, it doesn't look great, but nonetheless, you can certainly add your own images behind the scenes to be part of your theme for the team drive. If you choose to, you could right-click, and this has content in it. Of course, from the right-click, you could also add members, rename it, view what you've put in the trash. If you want to manage any members, you could do that as well. But what I've got to do here, if I open this up, I need to move this back into my drive. Again, getting the warning message, it's going to remove everyone else's access. I'm okay with that. And now that the drive is empty, and there's no more files in it, I could do a right click on demo drive, and now I can delete the team drive altogether. All right, so once again, just to review, My Drive, a great space to store your own files, create new ones from scratch. Shared with Me, a great way to collaborate with peers. The only problem is people can remove stuff from shared folders. The solution, team drives. You can create a space where everybody can work collaboratively, and very few people can remove stuff from the team drive itself. People that come to the drive can add stuff to it. They can't take stuff out of it. Again, if you're not in a department, you want to share curriculum materials. If you're on a grade level and want to share stuff with your colleagues across a district in the same grade level, it's a great space to share files like that without the worry of someone removing those files, because once again, the drive becomes the owner rather than any single individual. Thanks for listening, and I hope you found this useful.